Hi friends, it's David again from Southgate Imaging, doing something a little out of my comfort zone, which is golf reviews, golf club reviews specifically. So I'm pretty much a 10 to 12 handicap golfer, have been for years. I play probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 rounds every year. I'm a member of a local course. I'm out a lot. So I've been interested in upgrading my clubs, which I had a set of Taylormade R11s for about maybe 12 years, which have been absolutely spectacular for me. I'm so happy with the purchase. They fit my game perfect. I can't say enough about them. They were they were KBS regular shafts. They just worked for my game. They were a good players club. They were a good fit for me. But after 12 years, it's probably time to look and see what is new in the technology world. In the last couple of years, I've demoed the Taylormade P790s and the Stealths. I was a Taylormade guy, or I am a Taylormade guy, so that was kind of where I was going, where I expected to replace, how I expected to replace my next club. So the interesting story was, we saw the information on the P790 clones from Kirkland, from Costco, and it was interesting. A lot of the reviews out there have been like Bryson DeChambeau or Rick Shields, guys that play like, you know, they have very, very aggressive games, high swing speeds, and Bryson DeChambeau playing these clubs, when he plays an extra stiff, playing a stiff, it's really not that good a comparison. It's not telling me how that iron is going to fit in my game. I really haven't seen a lot of reviews, especially on the regular shafts, of telling you how it's going to fit in your game. So anyway, that's what really I wanted to do here, was just to explain that. The history with these are really the lawsuit clubs, I guess, because there was a suit by Taylormade in the US, and these were pulled off the shelves last year. I was hoping they were going to come to Canada because I was really ready for a new set of clubs then. But they never did come to Canada this year. So last 2 weekends ago now, my buddy Chris was visiting me, and he saw the new Taylormade Players Clubs Iron Sets in the local warehouse in Fredericton, New Brunswick. So I hadn't seen them in Halifax, so I knew they weren't there. But we checked online and they were. So I went ahead and ordered a set. Had nothing to lose. My feeling was, if I get them, I don't like them, I can play a couple rounds with them, and Kirkland's going to, Costco's going to take them back. There's really no issue. They stand behind their products 110%. So really, that was the process. So looking at the clubs, and my point of reference is the R11s, and to a degree the Stealths I've demoed, and the P790. So that's my reference point. I don't have a world of experience with any other brands. I can compare kind of the current Taylormade to these. Anyway, what I would say, just walking through the features of the club, it's a forged club. It has the kind of weight on the front toe here, and it's the injected, it's almost like a rubber kind of thing, technology. So my understanding is it's probably injected in through there, and that was probably the whole rationale behind the Taylormade lawsuits. Now golf club manufacturers are suing themselves all the time anyway. I think it's kind of interesting in this case that these aren't available in the US anymore, I believe. I'm not sure. So I think that might have been a US lawsuit, and these are only available now in Canada. Not absolutely sure, that's my guess. They are finished off with like Elevate 115 shafts, in my case is regular flags, and lambkin grips. I find the shafts absolutely fine, very comparable to really what I was hitting in my R11s. I had KBS regular, and they feel about the same. The lambkin grips are obviously a really good high quality grip. This is maybe a plus and minus. If you got big hands or you just prefer a mid-size or larger grip, you're going to replace these anyway. So it's not really an issue. It's not really a plus that they're coming with a good quality grip. For me, these aren't going to be replaced probably for a couple of years. So it's the grips are great. So that's a great bonus. They feel great. Shafts feel great. The one thing I would say, a couple things I would say when swinging these, the heads feel heavier. And what I mean by that, they just really feel a little heavier, especially in the lower irons, than I would get when I'm a lawyer, pitching wedge, 9, 8, that kind of stuff. I find that these have more weight and they're weightier. That is actually allowing me to stay on track in my swing, and I'm more consistent in my swing. So I would say overall that's been a good thing for the weight. The one thing that surprised me is that the offsets in these clubs, again, the pitching wedge 9 and 8 especially, have more offsets than I used to have in the R11. It's probably the target golfer. You're a Costco customer, these are a players club, you're just going to pick them up and go with them, and probably more people are going to fit themselves in these quicker. You're just going to go and be able to take them to the course. So that's probably why that's like that. The 5, 6, and 7s are more like a blade, and they don't have as much offset. So, you know, they'd be for a better golfer. If you're a beginner golfer, this is the wrong club set for you. You probably want to look at some of the Callaway stuff that they have there. But the 5, 6, and 7 are very close to blades. In fact, my buddy Dwayne, who's a very good golfer, I didn't say that, Dwayne, he would probably not play these because these are too much like blades, especially the 5, 6, and 7. Me, I don't have a problem with that, and my money club's always been my 7, and I hit the 7 great with this in this set. So that's kind of going through the clubs, and everything comes down to cost, I guess. And if cost was no object, I'd go to Golf Town and pick up a set of P790s or Stealths that are probably going to retail for close to $1,500 plus tax in Canada. I'd be looking at almost $2 grand to get out of the store. So these in Canada right now, they're $6.99, free shipping obviously from Costco. With taxes in Canada it was $800, so that was pretty good. One thing you don't want to underestimate, I guess, is the value of your used clubs. I sold my old R11s for $350, 12 years old. I bought them for $600 12 years ago. So, you know, you can move into these for like $400, and you know, you're moving up in technology. So I'm really happy I did it. It worked out good for me. The next thing on the horizon actually is the days that we've been out. It's early in the season here in Canada, and actually the course was open. The course won't be open today. It's snowing outside, so it's all tight lies. But the next thing on my agenda, is the wedge set. So this is a Gen 2 wedge set. My buddies, golf buddies, have been playing this now for a couple of years, the Gen 1s, and so I've actually sold my Taylormade mill grind wedges that I had played for 4 years, and just are going to try this. The only downside I can see is I'm going to look like a Costco advertisement. I'm going to have to do something about that maybe, but anyway, that's kind of my plan. So this, like I say, this was just a quick review to give you a feel if you're just a Joe regular golfer who plays regular shafts, and you know, you're saying, how will these work for me? I would say don't take what the golf pros are saying about these clubs as gospel. These are targeted at your regular golfers. These aren't something, Jason DeChambeau's not going to play this set. The other downside, I guess, buying from Costco is you can't get them custom fit, right? So if you're close to regular shaft lengths, it's going to work for you. If you're 6'4", these aren't going to work for you. If you're 5'2", these aren't going to work for you. In fact, I'm 5'6", and I could probably take a ½ an inch off of them, especially the longer clubs. I'm going to play them for a while and see. It's a lot easier to take it off than put it on, so it's not really a big thing. But you're not going to get that custom fit. You're not going to be able to try different shafts buying this stuff in the store. Still, if you fit in this target niche for these clubs, I think they're a really good quality set, and they play really good, especially compared to the R11s and the Stealths and the P790s that I've tried already. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe. Typically my contact is photography and guitars, but who knows. Please like, subscribe, comments if you have any questions. I'm just glad these are available in Canada now. Thanks, have a great day.